Level 1. No car. $0. You are standing at a bus stop in the rain. It is 7:43 a.m. You have been here 11 minutes. 3 cars have driven through the puddle at the crosswalk. None of them slowed down. The third one was close enough to spray your left shoe. You are not invisible. You are just not worth slowing down for. The bus arrives 4 minutes late. You board from the back because the front is full. You find a seat by the window and watch the cars move through the intersection below. A man in a gray sedan checks his phone at the red light. He doesn't look up. A woman in an SUV applies lip gloss in the mirror. She doesn't look up either. Nobody in a car looks at a bus. That's not a rule anyone wrote. It's just how it works. You get to work 12 minutes late because the bus took the long route. Your manager notes this without saying anything. The note is in his expression. You see it. He knows you see it. Nothing is said. On the way home, it rains harder. You stand under the bus shelter that is slightly too small. A car pulls up at the crosswalk. The driver makes eye contact. Then the light changes and he drives away. You are 31 years old. You have never owned a car. Nobody has ever treated you like you might. Level 2, $1,500 car. You buy it from a man named Gerald on a Saturday morning. Gerald is 62. The car is a 1998 sedan in a color that was once white. It has 187,000 miles on it, a check engine light that has been on for 2 years, according to Gerald, and a rear window that doesn't fully close. Gerald says it runs fine. You believe him because the alternative is continuing to take the bus. The first time you drive to work, it feels like a different life. You pull into the parking lot. You find a spot at the back because the closer spots feel like they belong to different cars. You sit in the car for a moment after you turn off the engine. Then the check engine light is still on and the rear window lets in cold air and you get out. At the gas station, the attendant doesn't look up when you pull in. You pump your own gas. The man at the next pump, clean car, pressed shirt, glances at your car the way people glance at something they want to stop looking at. He looks away. You finish pumping. You go inside to pay because the card reader on your pump doesn't work. The cashier takes your cash without making eye contact. You drive home. The check engine light is still on. The rear window still lets in cold air. But you are not on the bus. That is the whole point for now. That is the only point. Gerald texts you 3 days later to ask if you're happy with it. You tell him it's great. You mean it. Level 3, $8,000 car. The sedan is reliable. Not impressive, not new, but it starts every time. And the check engine light finally went off after a repair that cost $340 at a shop that didn't try to upsell you. People don't notice the car. That's the upgrade. At $1,500, people notice the car in a way that made you smaller. At $8,000, they don't notice it at all. You exist in traffic the way most people exist, unremarkably without comment, taking up the correct amount of space. The parking attendant at your office building takes your keys now without a visible reaction. That feels significant. You know it shouldn't, but it does. He hands you the ticket. He moves on. You move on. The interaction contains no information about how he sees you. That is a form of respect you hadn't identified until it arrived. At a drive-thru, the teenager at the window smiles at you the same way she smiles at everyone. There is nothing in her face that adjusts for the car. You order your food. You pay. You pull forward. It takes 40 seconds. You park outside a restaurant for the first time, a real restaurant, not a diner. A valet is standing at the entrance. He opens your door. He doesn't hesitate. He takes the car around to the back. He doesn't look at the car the way Gerald's car got looked at. You walk inside feeling like someone who belongs there. You don't know yet that this is not the ceiling. Level 4, $35,000 car. The car is new, not brand new. 2 years old, one previous owner, full service history. It is dark gray. The interior smells like something that costs money. The seats are heated. You didn't know you needed heated seats until the first cold morning. People see you differently. You notice it before you can name it. The valet at the restaurant greets you before you reach the door. The parking attendant directs you to a better spot. The mechanic explains the service clearly and in full without assuming you won't understand. At a red light, a man in a similar car nods at you. Not a wave, just a nod. The barely perceptible acknowledgement between people who have arrived at the same level. You get pulled over for the first time in this car. A broken taillight. You didn't know. The officer is professional. He writes you a fix-it ticket. He calls you sir twice. He does not ask where you're headed. He wishes you a good evening and returns to his car. You sit for a moment after he leaves. You think about the $1,500 car. You think about what that stop might have looked like in that car on that same road. You don't let yourself finish the thought. The tail light costs $40 to fix. You fix it the next day. You're still here. That means you already know something most people don't. Subscribe to Unspoken Wealth. New stories every week. Back to it. Level 5, $85,000 car. You did not plan to spend $85,000 on a car. You planned to spend $55,000. Then the salesman showed you the next model. Then he mentioned the waiting list. Then he said he could get you one, just one, if you were ready to move today. You were ready to move today. You are not sure exactly how that happened. The car is black. It is the kind of car that makes people pause on the sidewalk. Not everyone, most people don't care, but some people stop mid-step and then look away when they realize you saw them looking. The dealership experience is different at this level. Nobody asks if you have financing arranged. The salesman offers you water, then coffee, then water again when you decline the coffee. He uses your name 4 times in the first 10 minutes. He asks about your weekend. He laughs at something you say that was not funny. The valet at the hotel takes the car with both hands on the key. He is careful pulling away. You notice this. He notices you noticing. He nods. You nod. A small transaction of mutual understanding about what the car is. Your cousin sees a photo of the car on your phone and asks how much it cost. You tell him. He is quiet for a moment. Then he says, "That's more than he makes in a year." You say nothing. He says it again slightly differently. You change the subject. At work, your parking spot changes. Nobody told you to move. You just started parking closer to the entrance and nobody said anything. The car made the decision for you. Level 6, $150,000 car. You do not talk about this car. Not because you are ashamed, because the conversation it starts is never the conversation you want to have. People either calculate what it cost or what it says about you or both. Neither calculation is about the car. Both are about what they think you think about yourself. The car is white. It is the kind of white that requires specific cleaning products and a specific detailer who charges $400 per visit and is booked 3 weeks in advance. You pay it without thinking about it. That's when you know a number has changed permanently. Driving it is a different experience from owning it. Driving it means people photograph it at traffic lights, means a teenager on a bicycle follows you for half a block, means a parking lot attendant asks if he can take a photo with it. You say yes. He is 23. He takes 3 photos. He thanks you 4 times. At a restaurant, a man you don't know sends a bottle of wine to your table. The waiter delivers it with a card that says nothing except a first name and a company. You recognize neither. You drink the wine. You think about what he wants. You never find out. The police interaction at this level is also different. You get pulled over twice in the first year. Once for speeding, legitimate. Once for nothing. Both times the officer is respectful and brief. Both times he runs your plates before he approaches. Both times he sees something in the system that changes the tenor of the conversation before it starts. You are polite. You are always polite. Politeness at this level costs you nothing. Your mother asks if the car is rented. You tell her no. She asks again. Level 7, $500,000 car. You don't drive this car to work. You don't drive this car to the grocery store or to your mother's house or to the gas station. You drive it on Sunday mornings when the roads are quiet and the light is different and the car does what it was made to do without anyone watching. The world treats this car like an event. Traffic parts slightly. People with phones raise them before they raise their eyes. A child on the sidewalk points. The child's mother does not correct him because she is also looking. You are still the same person you were at the bus stop in the rain. You know this. You know it the way you know other things that are true, and also beside the point. The person at the bus stop and the person in this car share the same face and the same name and the same knowledge that none of this is about the car. It was never about the car. It is about what the car tells people before you open your mouth, about the 11 minutes in the rain at the bus stop that nobody saw, about Gerald and the 1998 sedan that smelled like old carpet and got you to work 5 days a week for 2 years while the check engine light stayed on. The car is how the world decides what you're worth before it knows anything about you. You learn that at level 1. You remember it at level 7. The question isn't which car you drive. The question is whether you know what it's actually telling people, and whether you're okay with the answer. If this story stayed with you, there are more where it came from. New stories every week. Same channel. Same quiet. Subscribe. Not because you have to, because the next one might be yours.